Alright, rockers, the music festivals are starting up and coming up on June 11th through June 19th. LaconiaFest is happening in New Hampshire, and it's going to be non-stop music for days, and one of the bands on the lineup for June 18th is a band I've seen recently, and a band I've kind of gotten to really enjoy listening to since their debut album, A Light in the Dark, has come out. Joining me now by phone, the entire band, Next to None. How are you guys?
Good. Good. What's going on?
I'm doing well. Thank you guys for taking the time out to join me here inside the ASYLUM. And first off, I gotta tell you guys, I saw you at the Gramercy Theater last month with Metal Allegiance, and I'll tell you what, you guys blew the crowd away. Phenomenal set.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for coming.
Very welcome. I could not miss the opportunity not only to see Metal Allegiance, but to finally get to see you guys perform and do your thing as well. And you guys bring a lot of energy to your performance on stage each and every night. I know you brought it big time that night here in New York. Is that just a love of the music, or is it because you guys are still young compared to some of us? What gives you guys the energy that you have out there?
Well, I mean, we're always just super excited to get out on stage and play in front of everyone. I mean, that tour was so much fun, and we tour very often. We're going to be touring a lot coming up, and we just love doing it. And I mean, I take a lot of inspiration from like people like Joey Jordison, who are always like headbanging on stage. So I just try to like take that energy that they have, which is, you know, a main reason why I love them so much as drummers, because they have so much energy. So I try to keep that kind of energy throughout the whole show and try to entertain everyone. And we're always just having fun. So it really helps when you're playing in front of great crowds and enjoy the music that you're playing.
Now, how's the feedback been for you guys? Because, you know, you guys are a new band, a young band, and let's face it, you're out there with Metal Alliance on recent dates, and the fan base is, you know, older guys in the metal scene that have been around, that are there for the guys of Metal Allegiance, and you guys are getting your introduction to them. How has the fan response been for you guys at the shows? How have you guys, you know, have you gotten to talk to people after the shows? What's the feedback that you're getting?
It's been like mostly overwhelmingly positive. You know, most of the people who like the sort of classic metal still like the sound of that music that we're playing now. So I mean, most of it's been positive. I mean, there are some people who aren't necessarily a fan of the harsh vocals or think we're too young or come across strange, but for the most part, most people seem to really enjoy it. So, yeah.
Very cool. I mean, it was definitely a great show of not only what you guys are capable of as a band on your own, but I gotta admit, your covers shocked me. I'm sure it had to do with bands that inspired you, Linkin Park and Slipknot. Well, I think some of the bands that you guys did covers of here in the New York area. And I spoke with Max a few months ago about his influences, and I just wondering, as a band, what were the main influences for all of you guys that kind of get you guys all talking and all jamming and going, you know what, maybe we want to do something like this band or like that band? So, you know, what were the bands that rallied you guys together?
Oh, well, I guess generally we all grew up listening to Dream Theater. I mean, obviously, my dad is Mike Portnoy, so I kind of grew up on the road with them. But I kind of introduced Chris and Ryland to Dream Theater, and they kind of grew up listening to it too. And then once we met Thomas, he actually was a fan of Dream Theater as well. But I also grew up listening to other bands like Slipknot and Lamb of God and Pantera and stuff. So those are bands that influenced me. But what about you guys, Thomas?
I take a big influence now, actually, from Periphery and some new hardcore bands like I See Stars, stuff like that.
I'd say for like the most part, like being friends with Max, I'd say from like a young age, like 4th, 5th grade or something. You know, he introduced me to bands like Slipknot, or when his dad was working with Avenged, you have to hear that stuff, and that sort of opened my eyes into sort of the more new metal area, sort of, and then I kind of started listening to other bands like Korn and stuff. So I'd say, you know, for the most part, our influences are kind of the same. I mean, I think we also all sort of like shine down on like the opposite side, more of like a rock standpoint.
I'm Ryland, and I've always been listening to John Petrucci from Dream Theater. Recently, I got into Tosa and Bossy with my 8-string work, and also, like Chris just mentioned, I have a rock background too, listening to Shine Down, Alter Bridge, Tremonti, and solo stuff. Yeah.
Cool. So you guys are definitely all over the spectrum and are influences, and I love too that you guys are also listening to the newer stuff out there, and how you guys are that new generation and next wave of rock and metal. So it does make sense that you guys are into that stuff, and being out with Metal Allegiance and with the guys that have been out on the road before, and veterans of the road. What have you guys taken from them by being out on the road, and what have you maybe learned from them that you guys are going to use going forward?
Well, I mean, being able to watch them just perform every night is really inspiring, and we learn a lot of stuff just from watching them. And I mean, I grew up watching my dad, so a lot of the things I've learned on the road and stuff, I've learned from him. And being able to be around, there was like, how many people were on that tour? Like 9 or something? Yeah. There was a ton of people, and they're all helpful and just really awesome guys. So being able to do a full tour with them was really awesome.
Well, I definitely felt the unity of all the bands on that tour at the show at the Gramercy Theater, especially at the end. I was laughing myself silly when you guys came out with the duct tape art on your bodies, and Max, you had a duct tape bandana going on. I mean, that was just an overall great way not only to end the show, but I believe it was also the last night of the tour for you guys.
Yeah, that stuff's always fun. I mean, usually whenever we're doing like a really long tour or something, we'll usually come out and like do something to the headlining band, and just for the last day of the tour, just to have fun. And I'm glad that somebody actually videotaped it, so that's on YouTube and everything. And that was fun. That was just kind of like a last minute thing we kind of threw together and then ran out for the last song.
I'll tell you what, it was very cool. It definitely got everybody by surprise. I'm glad someone was able to film it. I thought about it, but I was so into that last song, and partly just sitting back and taking in the fact that there was 2 generations of rock and metal or more on the stage all together at the same time, and jamming out. Max, you and your dad, Mike, on the same kit was just absolutely priceless. And that night you guys also played a new song. I believe you opened your set with a new song. How close are you guys to a follow-up to A Light in the Dark?
Well, we've been writing for a while, and we just write for fun all the time, so we actually have a lot of stuff done. We have about like 5 completed songs, and we actually demoed 3 of them. One of them was the one we opened with that night, which is personally my favorite of the songs we have written. But we're still writing stuff. We're actually having practice today, and we're going to continue working on things. And hopefully by next year we'll have the album out and released. And it's a lot heavier than the first album, but it still has all the awesome technical playing and stuff.
Well, we definitely look forward to that, and I know you guys have got to be excited with being part of LaconiaFest. You guys are one of the bands on the bill for Saturday, June 18th. Now, have you guys, I'm sure, Max, you probably have been lucky enough to attend a festival or two in your lifetime with your dad, but have you guys attended any festivals yet as a fan? And what do you feel going in now as a performer?
Well, we've actually wanted to play a festival for a while, and we did kind of like a little thing at Warped Tour a long time ago. So really, this is going to be kind of like our first big festival. And personally, I haven't attended really any festivals yet, but there's some that I'm planning on going to. There's one in September with like Avenged Sevenfold and Trivium and all those bands, so I'm going to be excited for that. But I mean, Thomas has gone to like Warped Tour and stuff, and obviously when we played there, we stayed and watched some of the bands and stuff. But to be able to play and with all the other great bands that are going to be there, like Seven Dust and POD and Luck Cherry, is just going to be incredible, and the crowd's probably going to be insane. So we're super excited for that.
Now, aside from the bands that you just mentioned, again, there were tons of bands on the lineup for the whole festival. Get details at LaconiaFest.com. Aside from the bands that you just mentioned, are there any other bands that are on the bill that you're just dying to see live and maybe hoping you get to meet backstage and maybe talk tips and music or just get to hang out with?
Well, I mean, honestly, the bands that I just mentioned, like POD and Seven Dust, those are the ones I'm looking forward to seeing the most, because I listen to those ones more than the other bands on the bill. I grew up listening to Seven Dust too, so to be able to play with them now is going to be awesome, and to see them live and everything, and hopefully we can get to meet them and stuff. So I'm super excited to see like Seven Dust.
Very cool. And now, yeah, I mean, you guys are now really stepping up to be part of rock and metal's future. And I want to get your take as kind of the next generation on where you guys see rock and metal going. We're kind of at a bit of a crossroads where, the physical format is starting to be challenged by digital format. There's tons of discussion going around of whether YouTube hurts live shows and attendance. There's so much discussion going on right now with rock and metal as it's transitioning from one generation to another. I'm wondering, what do you guys see as that generation that's coming into it? Where do you see things now, and what do you think the future might hold for rock and metal, aside from you guys headlining arenas one day in the future?
I think that, the new format and the digital sharing obviously makes it a lot harder for bands and labels alike to generate revenue, and so I think that might overall hurt the ability for the metal genre to sort of be mainstream or just grow to the size that it was able to before. Like, I think it's a much harder challenge, I think, for any bands now in the rock metal genre to achieve the status that some of those who made it to the top, between maybe 10 or 40 years ago did. And the whole streaming thing, I guess it's convenient and it's like the selling point for streaming, but hopefully for long-term streaming will sort of phase out, or they'll find another way to profit off it better. Because I mean, at this point, the genre isn't necessarily like dying, but it's definitely probably not as popular, I'd say, as it was before. I'd say the streaming and the digital format has competed with metal and sort of brought pop really back into what is considered mainstream or radio play. So I think for the long term, I mean, it's going to be tougher because metal's sort of diminishing with the new streaming and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those areas that are a very sensitive topic. There's so many different ways to look at it, and I wanted to get your guys' take as, the generation that might actually make the decision of where we're going, because you are that next group coming up behind the ones that are currently streaming everything. And of course, I gotta ask you guys, I know streaming is a convenience, but being that you are of that next generation, what's your preferred format? Do you guys prefer digital or CD or vinyl? What's your preferred?
Well, personally, I enjoy physical copies like CD, because there's a lot more you get with it than digital stuff. Like you get all the artwork and the lyrics and stuff, and it's just personally I like it a lot better. And I know like Chris has told me that Tool takes all their stuff off of streaming and everything because they want everyone to have the artwork and everything with the CD. So I think if a lot of bands start doing that, I think it'll definitely kind of cancel out the power that streaming has right now. And honestly, I think everyone should just get the CD of the band that they want to listen to, because there's so much more you get with it.
I couldn't agree with you more. Being a DJ, I've kind of fallen in between. I get the digital by email, and I get a chance to check it out. And, if I like it, obviously I go out and buy it. And, maybe that's what we need. We just need more people to just say, you know what, I streamed it, now I'm going to go buy it. And that's definitely, I think, what we all need. And it's nice to hear from you guys, the next generation, that you guys are into the physical format. I got to admit, it's kind of refreshing to hear, after hearing so many years of everything's going digital, that the generation coming up prefers the physical format.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, digital stuff's a lot more convenient, but you lose a lot of stuff with getting the digital version. And I mean, if you stream it, personally, I just think it's not cool to do that. And if you have the album bought already and everything, I don't care if you stream, because you already bought the album and you're already supporting that band. But if you only stream and stuff, it really hurts the artist that you're listening to.
I couldn't agree with you guys more. Next to none at LaconiaFest on June 18th. You guys don't want to miss them. If you're going, make sure you get there early. Look for Next to None. Go see them. Say hi. Pick up their album, A Light in the Dark, wherever you buy your music. Do it on CD. Why? Because I'm telling you, and the guys of Next to None are telling you to do that. What do you, before I let you go, I know you guys are talking about doing some more touring. Is there anything that maybe you can reveal? I know everything is secretive, and I respect that, but I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask what the plans were for Next to None going into the rest of 2016.
Well, we have a tour coming up in July. The dates are not posted yet, but the second we get them, we'll put them out there on our website, nexttonone.net. We'll have it on our Facebook or Twitter and all that stuff. And then we actually do have some other stuff planned for after that is currently being worked on. So we have tons of stuff coming up after LaconiaFest. But July is going to be the soonest thing, and that's going to be a West Coast tour. So we're super excited about that. And, I mean, after that, like I said, stuff's getting booked, and then we have our album to be working on and hopefully get that out as soon as we can.
Well, very cool. I look forward to all of that. You guys just keep kicking ass the way that you're kicking ass in the West Coast. You guys got something to look forward to. Get ready for next to none coming your way. LaconiaFest, June 11th through June 19th. Catch next to none on June 18th. Guys, I've got the album in front of me. As always, gotta have you guys pick a track from A Light in the Dark for my listeners to hear.
Awesome. Which one should we pick? Probably You Were Not Me, right? Yeah, You Were Not Me would probably be the best one to play.
You got it right now from Next to None. This is You Are Not Me from your album A Light in the Dark. Don't go anywhere, more to come here inside the Asylum.